Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Unconventional Attorney Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Small, and I am the Unconventional Attorney. What is up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Today is September 30th, 2019. And I was going to release an episode today about something that is near and dear to my heart, super woo-woo, something I love to talk about. But I can't because I didn't even realize this, and I should know this. But today is the last day of the third quarter. Tomorrow's October 1. Q4 2019 starts. It's the last quarter of the year. It's the last quarter of the decade. So I figured we would talk about how to end strong, how to make this next 90 days your best 90 days ever, and maybe pump you up a little bit, and also just give you some strategies, some tactics, some things to work on to get to where you need to go. And I don't have any, as usual, per usual, I don't know if you know this or not, I don't have any notes. So we're just going to run. We're going to run with this. There are ideas flooding my dome right now, and I'm really excited to forget half of them and give you the other half. But before we get there, I want to remind you, if you are not subscribed to the world's best newsletter, email newsletter of all time, then you should subscribe. That's my newsletter. Comes out every Sunday. I talk about a couple different things. First, I just talk about something I've been thinking about, things I'm working on, strategies and tactics that are working for me. Typically, it's a little bit more woo-woo. It's a little bit more pump you up. I send it out on Sunday so it gets you ready for the week. But I teach in there and I talk about some of the things that are working for me. If you don't know this already, your mindset and the way that you approach your life and your business is the secret to your success. No Facebook ad, no Google ad, no SEO, nothing like that is going to solve your problems if you have a shitty mindset. So there's that. The other thing that I do is I pull out little snippets from my weekly boardroom meeting with the Sanctuary. The Sanctuary is a group of law firm owners, probably just like you, that want to take their business to the next level, realize that they can do so faster by joining a community of people that are supportive and understand where they're going through, and also then get some just super inside ninja stuff from me. All my strategies, everything is inside of this little thing I call the vault, inside of the Sanctuary. There's information on content creation, on Facebook ads, on Google ads, on networking, on everything. But on my weekly newsletter, I give you a little piece, a little bite, a little sneak peek, a little nibble of what we talk about in there. And the way that those work is there's usually 4 weeks in a month. So each week is focused on two different things. One thing related to business and one thing related to just sort of like the four core elements of life. So we've got marketing, advertising, sales, and lifestyle design on the business side. And then we've got passion, power, purpose, productivity on the life side. So each week I tell you a little bit about those. And then I also give you a couple things to do. If you want to just have some straight up, this is what you should be doing this week to move your business forward, I give you some of those as well. All right. So go join. The unconventionalattorney.com/newsletter will get you there. The unconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. Go sign up. I'm actually, I'm always just thinking about and tweaking and playing with these things. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this guy has this newsletter that he sends out. Excuse me. That is, you have to apply for it, and he only takes certain people in there. I thought about doing that with this one because I just want people that are interested, that want to read the stuff, that really want to learn and apply it. So I might do that, but I doubt it. I want to make it available to all of you and all of my competitors out there. There's a lot of law firm marketing people out there that are trying to do what I'm doing. The problem is they don't have a law firm, so they don't get to put it into practice. They don't have all that street cred that I got. Whatever. I'm digressing. So if you're not in the newsletter, go get it. theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. It's amazing. All right. So let's talk about this Q4 thing. The way, first of all, let me just, and I've probably talked about this before, I'm sure I have. My approach to goal setting and to my quarter, my month, my week, my day has evolved over time relatively significantly. Back in the day, I used to talk about SMART goals all the time, which is specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. Okay, those are SMART goals. And typically what I would do is I would say, okay, like in Q4, I want to make $100,000. And then I would say, okay, how do we do that? And I'd back into it. And that's great. It's good to have monetary goals. It's good to have things that you want to do. The problem, though, is that goal was, and I've been, this term has been just jumping around in my dome, arbitrary and capricious, right? For all of you law firm owners out there. I was going to use it for something else, but we'll use it there today for now. And what would happen is I would set these goals, and depending on who I'd been listening to at the time, the goal would either be really, really big, if I was going like Grant Cardone 10X, or it would be really, really pragmatic and practical, if I was just listening to anybody else, basically. But what would end up happening is I would sometimes I would reach the goal, sometimes I wouldn't, but very, very quickly, like a week in or 2 weeks in, that big number, even for the quarter, sort of lost its luster because it didn't really have any meaning behind it, didn't have anything attached to it. And it took me a long, long time to figure that out. I would have these numbers up on the board, and I would every time somebody signed up, I would pull the number down, try to work it to zero, and it was fun. And when I hit the goal, it felt good, but it didn't push me, it didn't move me, it didn't get me sort of excited for the day and excited to tackle the hard things. And it also didn't necessarily give me the that persistence, that consistency that we all need to reach our goals. Okay? If you don't know this, the name of the game is persistence and consistency. Okay? All wrapped up, that means you have to be disciplined for a long, long time. And when it comes to setting quarterly goals or big or year-long goals or whatever, what I've started to do is something different. And this is what I would encourage you to do. Okay? So let's take out a sheet of paper, all right, and think about what you want your life to look like. All right? And I mean, and think about it in as much detail as you can. Think about it all the way down to the most minuscule detail. Where are you living? What does your house look like? What kind of car do you drive? What time do you wake up and go to bed? What do you do at work? How often do you work? What does that look like? How do you feel at work? What are the things that you're doing while you're at work? What are the things that you're doing on the weekend? Who are you hanging out with? All of these things. Think about that life. And here's the key, though. This is the kicker. This is a little bit about what I was going to talk about beforehand. So maybe we'll go into it here for a second because it is important. You need to think about the life that you want. Okay? Not the life that society tells you to have. Not the life that anybody tells you to have. No one. Okay? Even your closest people. You think about the life that you want to have. The life that you want to design. And then go and design that. Okay? This is very, very difficult exercise. Because there's a bunch of pressure out there on all of us to conform. There's a bunch of pressure on all of us to do the things that we're supposed to do. And these things, this I'm going to get into this later again, but I'm not going deep on this. I promise. I'm not doing it today. But in any event, do your best, because we'll get into this in future episodes, and you'll see you can if you sort of drink the Kool-Aid, or if it makes sense to you, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it may or may not change your perspective or your goals or the way that you act at all, because you may already be there, but maybe not. So think about the things that you actually want. Think about the things that you enjoy, okay? And understand that that's possible for you to be your best self, to live your best life, to have everything that you want and do everything that you want to do, say everything that you want to say, and still be happy, still have a family, still be a good father, still be a good spouse, be a good everything, community leader, be good at church, whatever it is that you're into. You can do all of those things, all of them. But you have to know what those are. And I guarantee you, when you write those things down and you start working towards that, that gives you motivation. That's going to get you where you want to go. That's going to get you the thing that you need to get. Okay? So that's where to start. And this would be like a big picture. This is a big deal. Okay, it's a big thing. And then what I try to do is, and I've gone through this exercise many times. And I've gone through it myself. I went through it about a month ago for a year. So what we try to do is just break it down for a year. And I talked earlier when I was talking about the newsletter, which you can subscribe to at theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter, by the way, about power, passion, purpose, and productivity. And the idea is to your lifestyle will fit into all of these different things. Passion is relationships. To give you a really quick idea, passion is sort of relationships, all of them. Both your sort of super personal relationships, all the way to your business relationships, everything. Purpose is mindset, sort of spirituality. Think about what you want to improve on there. Power is fitness, health, things like that. And then productivity is sort of work. Okay? And think about your dream life, all right? And then think about one thing that you can do over the course of the year to make each one of those areas a little bit better. Okay? As it fits into your big overall lifestyle design. That's where you start. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, I want to get to this place in a year. Where do I need to be in a quarter? Right? Where do I need to be? Then you say, okay, to get to that place in a quarter, where do I need to be at the end of this month of October? And you say October, where do I need to be at the end of, the first week of October? And then where I need to be at the end of today. You just keep building all the way back until you get to today. Okay? I think what you're going to find, hopefully what you're going to find, is that you either have projects that you can break down into daily activities. You're going to have things that you want to work on and build that also break down into daily activities. And then you're just going to start executing those activities. So for example, for productivity, let's just say, excuse me. Let's just say, I want to be able to make $20,000 a month on average by the end of this year, by the end of a year. The reason I want to do that is because $20,000 a month puts $10,000 in my pocket, and $10,000 is what I need to feel comfortable in my personal life. What I mean by comfortable is the bills are paid. I don't have to worry about anything with $10,000 a month. Okay? Everything over that is gravy. I want to keep going because my life is not just meeting the bare minimums. But when I get there, I will know I have reached sort of like stage 1 of my big, grand lifestyle plan. And then you break it all the way down. And you say, okay, what do I need to be doing today to get to that in a year? Okay, and the answer is, for me, creating a piece of content every day, Monday through Friday, at least. Okay, I'm gonna commit to creating a piece of content Monday through Friday, getting it out there to the world every day, and in a year, that should generate $20K a month for me. And I would venture to say, by the way, for everyone across the board, that probably would be the case. Probably would be able to do that. But that doesn't have to be the only solution. It could be something else. You could reach out to 3 people a day in your network and try to set meetings and do these things, right? But whatever it is, eventually you're going to break it down to something per day that you're doing. If you want to have better relationships, it could be simply reaching out to one person a day. What I used to do and what I should do again, just because it is good for all of my relationships, I used to write a thank you card every day to someone. When you're doing will signings and when you're doing things like that, it's easy for me. But then sometimes I wouldn't have anything, and I would just write a letter, like a thank you note to my mom. Like, yo, Mom, what's up? Just want to say thank you for being my mom, for being great. And it was amazing, right? I feel good. She feels good. Everybody feels good. And you're speaking from the heart. It's something that people really love to get, and that increases your relationships. When it comes to purpose, we're talking about mindset, spirituality. We're going to be talking about, probably here in the future, a little bit about meditation. We always talk about mindset. We always talk about the things that you can work on as far as that goes. Being intentional, being aware. You can practice these things on a daily basis, right? Before I get angry at someone for something, I'm going to do X. And then you just find a way to do that every day. Before, I'm going to start a morning routine, and I'm actually going to follow it. I don't have my book with me, but I do a morning routine every day. Okay? Especially right now when I'm doing the 75 hard thing, but I wake up early, I go to the gym. When I'm done with the gym, then I do, I have a book, a notebook that I write in, and I do a couple different things. Up at the top, I write the 5 things, this goes to productivity, I need to do every day. I need to do journaling. Okay, journaling is also a mindset thing, by the way. I need to do a live video for the Unconventional Attorney. I need to do a live video for CMS Law Firm. I need to do an Instagram post where typically what I do is a quote talking about some mindset woo stuff, and then I read for 30 minutes. Okay, those are the things that I know. If I do those things every day, many, many, many things about my life get better. Okay, so I probably should add a 6th, which is write a thank you note. And I should do that because one of my weak areas is probably relationships and talking to people. It's my personality, and I'm a weirdo, but I want to be better, and I acknowledge that. So I also then write down my 3 power words. For this year, my 3 power words have been consistency, discipline, persistence. And you notice I talk about them all the time. I think they may continue to be my power words for 2020. We'll see when we get there. I also write down 3 affirmations, 3 mantras. I've been writing these same 3 down for a long time. Number 1 is embrace the monotony of success. I've talked about this a bunch of times. Number 2 is money flows to me freely and easily. And number 3 is I create my reality through my thoughts and actions. Okay? Those 3 things are critically important to me for several different reasons. Maybe I'll break them all down later. Then I do 3 gratefulness items, 3 things I'm grateful for. They can be random ass things. They can be big things. They can be little things. They can be whatever I'm sort of on my mind at the time. And then I also, what do? I write down the quote that I'm going to do the quote, do the Instagram post on in the book. And then I write down my 75 hard things just so I don't forget what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay? That's mindfulness. So the point here is I'm trying to give you some ideas for the things that you can do. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that if you don't set goals that you want, then you're not going to do anything to get there. I talk to people all the time. I talk to law firm owners. I talk to you probably listening to this right now all the time. People tell me, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to grow big. I want to get huge. And I say, okay, great. Just go make a piece of content every day. And say, well, I can't do that. I can't do that. Or, whatever I say. And it doesn't happen. And the reason for that is, you don't really want to grow big, and that's okay. When you find the thing that you want to do, when you find that thing that you can't get enough of, that is when you are going to do the work. That is when you will do the things that need to be done, even though they're uncomfortable, scary, and you hate them. You will do those things because it means that much to you. Okay? All right. And then you just do the things. That's it. Several keys though, by the way, while we're on this track. Thing number 1 is for your 90-day goal, don't get too big, right? There's this saying, we always overestimate what we can accomplish in a year, and we underestimate what we can accomplish in 10 years. This goes to another overall theme of mine, something I've really been seeing a lot of this year, which is that everybody wants to go way, way faster than business allows. Okay? We don't have some internet software as a service company that can grow to 1 million users in 18 months. We have a brick and mortar, right, service-based business. We do 1 client at a time. For you to grow, it's going to take time. Unless you have just a tremendous amount of money to fund a huge advertising campaign, staff your office, and do all these things, then you can grow very, very, very quickly. If you don't have that, though, then it's going to be tough. Okay? So you need to have the proper perspective, the proper frame of reference as you approach and attack the fourth quarter of 2019. And then you just have to write those down and get after them. Okay? All right, we're at 20 minutes already. We are already at 20 freaking minutes. I really love talking about this stuff. I'm getting geared up to the Q3 live meeting is this weekend in Charleston, South Carolina. So I've been thinking a lot about this stuff. I've been thinking a lot about all this woo-woo stuff. I'm putting together all the stuff we're going to talk about while we're there. So I'm fired up. And if you guys aren't there, you are missing out. So funny. This goes to another. I'm rambling, but I can't help it. I'm on fire. I saw somebody on Instagram the other day that went to one of these other conferences, and I see this all the time. And this is the interesting thing about these conferences. It said, I'm gonna find it actually if I can. Yeah, it said, I just got back from this conference. I'm ready to crush it. Blah blah blah. I'm so fired up. I'm ready to go, and I'm not trying to poo-poo what this person was saying, but I hear this all the time. You're really fired up. They did a great job of sort of like pumping you up and making you believe, but there's just not a lot of substance behind it necessarily. Let me find this real quick. And so I asked. I said, what are you expecting to do? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find this. I said, what are you expecting to get out of this? Like, what's that look like? These things that you're talking about, taking it to the next level, and blowing it up, right? These things that we all talk about. It's like, what does that even mean? What does that look like for you? And the response was indicative, I think, of someone that's probably going to look up in a little while and not be where they want to be. Because you have to take the time to get real with yourself, to be honest about why you want to go there and what that looks like, and then also craft a plan that's going to actually get you there. Because until you do that, you're just lying to yourself, right? In a way. So don't be that person that does that. Don't be that person that talks a big game and then just doesn't really do much of anything, because nobody likes that person, okay? And you won't like that person when you don't reach your goals. Like, I'm doing some cool, crazy, big stuff, but it's over a long amount of time. And you can do the same. You can do the same thing, but you just got to break it down to that 90 days. Next quarter, what are you going to do? All right? Okay, that's it. Hope you guys are pumped. By the way, so if you guys are like got the competitive juices flowing, yeah, I'm going to crush it and do these things. F you, Chris, right? I'm going to show you. I want you to show me. Part of your motivation is to demonstrate to someone else that you can do it. I am totally okay with that, and I'm totally okay with being that person. I want you to succeed. That's why I do this podcast. That's why I do all this stuff. Man, I can't tell you how great it feels to have these conversations with you guys one-on-one. Because whenever anybody comes to the sanctuary, they get a complimentary hour conversation with me, and we get to jam. And the way it works is I just say, look, you got me for an hour. We'll talk about whatever you want. You might get to learn about them, learn about what they're working on, and I love it. And you guys are really trying hard. You're doing great things. A lot of you are really going after it and seeing great success and seeing great results, and really working hard and working towards these dreams that you have. And I tell you this too, everybody's dream is different. What everybody wants is different. I guarantee you what I want is way different from what you guys want. And that's okay. But you got to know what that is to go for it. Okay? All right. Let's wrap this up. Just go get it. Go get after this. Okay? If I don't pitch the sanctuary very often, but if you're looking for help and you want to come and join us, it's super cheap. Okay? I make the investment cheap enough that pretty much anybody that wants to come in can come in. And you will see results if you do the work. We're about It's October, almost October, so we're about 9 months really, because I started at the beginning of the year, really explaining and demonstrating and teaching this new stuff that I'm doing, and people are seeing really amazing results with it, and you can too. Okay, you just have to do it. You have to be committed to it, and if you want a place that will give you some support, some love, come and check it out. No, there's no contracts. There's no pressure. There's no nothing. Results. That's it. All right, cool. So, but no matter what you do, get the newsletter. It's free. It's freaking free. theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. Go get on there. Start getting my newsletters. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. I don't care. But I think you will like it. Okay? And I can't wait for Q4. I got a bunch of big projects that I'm working on. A bunch of ideas, a bunch of things I want to do. Moving to a new office. Really going after some business ideas that I have. That's going to be fun. And it can be fun for you guys too. All right, that's it. I'm Christopher Small. I'm the Unconventional Attorney. Thank you so much for listening. If you are not subscribed on YouTube, if you're not if you're not in the whatever, just keep listening, okay? And do take action. Take action. That's it. Thank y'all. See you.